Lorana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're all doing well. We're back here for the Huahine match against the Wings. We just had a couple of Mutiny Trophy matches in between videos. Let's show you them quickly. Also, last video we had Taha. We beat them 6-1. Not bad. And then we beat the Mangreva Shellfish 5-2. Mangreva in the development gold still there. The Gambier kind of island, that's just like a stone's throw away from Turtungegi. They're our kind of closest rivals in terms of distance. We beat them reasonably well. Tamangara getting a brace, Spearling getting involved, Chidi getting involved, Kerr scoring a goal in the 91st minute and then getting himself sent off immediately afterwards for a kind of sloppy, completely unnecessary challenge at 5-2. And then we played Puka Puka, and again, 6-1. So a decent kind of goal gap. Tamangara, Manuel, Chidi with the hat-trick, and Spearling. So Chidi and Tamangara seems to be a good pairing so far, but this is the Mutiny Trophy. None of these teams are as strong as those, apart from maybe the Terrors. So the Terrors are also in the Premiership, but that's about it, and they're not quite keeping pace so far. But again, Mutiny Trophy doesn't really matter to us too much this season, so we shall go and play the match. Got our Just Keep Swimming tactic on. I've been trying a different one in an offline save, but this is what I'll stick with. Minan is injured, so let's see who we're going to get on the right. Logan Frey, let's put him straight in. Ben Thomas is injured, so we don't really have anyone defensively to come in and cover that. Let's put Monier on, and the injured Minan. Because he can play on the right as well. Wallace is wanted by Madre de Dios, and Bauman is wanted by Uapo. So no one too important there. Let's go and give this a go. Nagata or Nagatka. I'm not saying it properly either way, but him. He's really just a backup for this kind of position, covering up front and the right. So I probably won't even bring him on this match, but eventually I'm going to try and rotate him in just to try and keep the players fresh, because I think that's going to be one of the challenges potentially. Playing against like a better standard of team, we're going to have to do a lot more running. Spearling, Chidi almost there. Huahine, obviously they've won. Can't get rid. They won. They were the first Tahitian team to win the OCL in our database. So they were the first team to get that injection of cash money. Close again from the free kick. And they've stayed kind of strongish. They've not always challenged for the title. They've not always challenged for the OCL, but go on, Bon. Get it forward. Tamangara kind of outmuscled. That was a little shocking. Someone stop him. Coming forward really well. That was a good goal for them. Yeah. So yeah, they're quite a well-established team. I don't think we'll ever see them get relegated or anything like that unless something horrendous happens to them. But yeah, playing well. Better than us anyway. It's only 10 minutes in, we can get back into this. It's breezy 34 degrees. Good, glad the breeze is taking the edge off the heat. It's probably blowing the sand around the pitch there. Match stats look relatively even, that's all good. It's... Oh, go on Lamb, Manuel. Just trickles in. Jean-Baptiste, he's doing well for us. He's meant to be a backup, but actually he's solid, isn't he? Popping up with the goals. He threatens the goal quite a lot as well. Not bad. So yeah, in real terms, it's... what day is it? 12th, 13th of August. So we're creeping ever closer to FM20. There'll probably be some announcements soon. Go on, Mara. Look at him. He's getting in there. On Chidi. Chidi to Tamangara. Off the post. That was a good move from Jean-Baptiste's tackle to Chidi's pass. Bit of a scramble there. Yes, it's getting close to that kind of FM20 announcement time. And to be honest, I'm not too bothered. It's not that I'm not excited for another Football Manager. It's just I'm really enjoying playing the saves I've got. This and my other kind of off-camera save. Really enjoying. And although I've got plans to do like the kind of regional Yorkshire save and update the Tahiti database for the next FM20, for the next FM even, not the next FM20, it's not even been one yet. I'm still enjoying this so much that actually I'm not too bothered about what's in the announcement. There's lots of things I think I would like to see. Pretty happy with this, yep. But there's nothing that I'm desperate to see fixed in this. Like, I've seen a lot of tweets recently about people complaining about the match engine being a bit weird in certain situations. And it can be. Like, there's I don't know if you've not seen it, there's a throw-in routine where if you get as many players as you can to take the short option in an attacking throw, then basically one of the players you pass to then ends up with a free run. Oh, what a shot by Manuel. Was not expecting that. Out of nothing really, so he's not marked, but he's not that close either, and he just pegs it in. Yeah, so there's this routine. Get 3 to take the short option, and then the one it gets passed to kind of then just runs into the box more or less unopposed and shoots at an angle, but a kind of pretty favourable angle. And you can get quite a lot of goals doing that. So there's weird things like that where you're kind of purposely breaking the match engine, where I'm not surprised that happens because that's not something you'd normally be setting up to do. And there are other things about keeper decisions, things like that. There's lots of areas where the game can obviously be improved, but there's nothing I think that's breaking it. For me, I think the worst thing that was going on, or one of the worst things that went on for me at the start was just how good the free kicks were, and that's eventually been toned down. I think they're still too good for the level I'm at. But I think they did gradually improve that. Was either early crosses and things like that. Players weren't crossing early enough, so crosses weren't as when you're watching the actual match, looked really frustrating. I think they've tweaked and improved that a bit. Those are the 2 things that are probably bothering me the most, and they got fixed. So I'm not worried about that. So there's nothing I think needs massive improvements for FM20. I'd like to see better media interaction. I'd like to see a ton more stats, because I love the stats. So in fact, on the stats front, in a weird piece of synchronicity that's not often happened, go on Chidi, lay it off. When this video comes out, it should be Friday. Oh, again, Manuel. Laid it off by Moreau, and in it goes. Yeah, it should be Friday the 16th when this video comes out, because I've got one out tonight, one on Thursday. This one will be Friday. So I'm not too far ahead of where I actually am in real life. On Friday, my article for Dictate the Game should be coming out, and assuming everything's gone okay with the tests I'm running in the background, what I will be doing is I'll be extending the DNA article I did. So I'd looked at the hoofball and my kind of long ball tactics that I used to use in my Tahiti saves, about what attributes are key, so positioning, jumping, aggression, and things like that. Go on, Wallace. Oh, Manuel for the... Oh, no, I thought he was going to go for his hat-trick there. What a back heel. Cruising against the Eels, they've not had a chance. Some champagne football with the back heels and the pass in there. Yes, I looked at the DNA, what attributes were involved in that tactic, but obviously, I mean, one of the good questions I was asked quite a few times was, does this work with other approaches? And the answer is, yeah, you can use the stats, that approach, to find out what you need for whatever approach it is you use, as long as you've got enough data. The problem is, obviously, for me, I've been playing a certain way in most of my games, so I don't have a ready source of data. So what I've decided to do is go to my kind of lab, my experiment league that I've used in one of the other articles, where I've got 6 teams set up in a league playing each other, where everything in the background is kind of set up to be the same. Really happy with that. A 4-1 win against former OCL and Premiership champions. Yeah, Rurutu got beaten 4-0. Oh, if Rurutu ever looked like they're in danger of getting relegated and their job came up, I might jump ship just to save them. Hopefully that doesn't come up. Yes, I'm going to use my experiment league, and I'm going to have everything set the same. So all the variables control for. They've got the same facility, same reputation, conflict keeping, and everything's set so I can tweak whatever I want. And in past versions, I've tweaked things like the professionalism attribute or the decision attribute to see what impact that has. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a different tactical style from each, or from a selection of the writers at Dictate the Game. So Iho or Chris Hitiraa, who's done some tactical replications. There's the sort of Running with Roma series. I'm going to take a couple of his tactics, for example. So one team will play his Roma tactic, one team will play his Porto reenactment tactic, one team might be playing my hoofball tactic. And I'm going to just use some of the tactics you can see, so you can, if you want to replicate them, you can go and see what the Dictate the Game guys have written about them. But also what I'll be doing is I'll then be putting them against each other, running sort of 10 season worth of tests. See, first of all, which tactic's the best. I have a feeling it's not going to be the hoofball one if I put it in there. Which one's the best? Like statistically, which one is better than the other one? Or are they all pretty much equal? And what I'll also be doing is then breaking it down by the players, like I did for my hoofball tactic, to work out what attributes help those particular tactics. So if you've got a tactic that's like the Porter Champions League winners tactic, that kind of style, then I'll be able to say, well, these are the attributes that seem to be most helpful for this. That's what their DNA would be made of. If you're looking at the Running with Roma possession-based tactic that Io's got, then I'll be able to say, well, these are the attributes that seem to be more important for this. And yeah, that should be out when this is out. So this will be, well, more or less. So this should go live about 4 o'clock on Friday, and then the article should be live at 6. So if you're watching it just as it's come out, then a couple of hours you'll have the article to go read. You can go check out the rest of Dictate the Game as well if you want to. Or you'll be able to go back and, if you're looking at the read, blah, 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 I can't talk today, blah, blah, you'll be able to go and see the article anyway if you're watching this later on. Made a real meal of that bit, didn't I? So, right, I'm going to come back for the Humpbacks match. The Moria match would be interesting as well, but the Humpbacks is the one I want to show you before we move on with the rest of the season. So I'll be back in just a sec. And we are back for the match against the Humpbacks. So we played Moria in between and we drew 2-2 with them. Probably a little bit generous a draw for us. It was a bit of a struggle. We carried on fighting, got the draw, that's fine, but I think that's one of those where we used a little bit of luck, which might mean we have a little bit of luck less elsewhere. We've got the Humpbacks now, so we're playing at their stadium. They're not in the new Rodrigo de la Vega stadium yet, that'll be next year. We're going just to the what's it called? Is it the reef, the drop-off? The Rurutu reef is there. Almost a sellout for them. We have played the Humpbacks previously 6 times, and by I say we've played, I mean Totengegi Wings have played. I'm pretty sure I played against the Wings when I was Rurutu manager, so at least one of those wins is probably one I got, but the Wings have never beaten them, let's put it that way. But currently, after 4 games, the Humpbacks are 9th with only 6 points. So I think they lost a lot of the team to the internationals. They've had a few changes. They've lost Yanin, they've lost Gerard, they've lost, well, they let them go, they've lost Andre, for example. So they're not the team they used to be, or even though they did win the title last season. This is our chance to beat them. They're probably tired, if I remember what it's like. got a few things going on. They're probably tired from like the international rotations and things like that. Sapuan, Minan's probably not ready for them. Actually, Meunier is going to come off Bauman. Some options on the left. Yeah, so this still can't talk. This time of season, when we were the humpbacks manager, was often the point where we had lots of quite tired players from international duty not being fully match fit, and it was difficult to kind of manage the demands. They're probably tired. Their morale's probably the lowest it's been for a long time. Their squad's not as strong as I think it was with us when I was there, so I think with our morale being up, our form being decent, this is a good chance. So they've got Luca Barr up front, who we know very well, top goal scorer last season. Jerome Delatre, who looks okay. He's no Johan Andre, who they released on a free, who's now gone to a team in Saudi Arabia, I think. And I'll show you him after this match, but he's now worth a lot of money. Moses Dallowin, who we signed for them, who's good for us, good for them, about 130 grand. Patrice David, don't know who that is. He looks okay, nothing special. Alexander Roger, who I think they probably got from AS Chance. Yep, they did. Who is pretty good. But again, he's no Andre. Riviera looks decent. I think we tried to get him a few times when I was manager. They've got a Minan on the left, so Tuamotun left back. Again, he doesn't look special. It's worth quite a bit. Mason, who again I think is from AS Chance as a central defender. Mara as another central defender who looks good enough. Like their central defenders are better than my central defenders. Porter looks like a decent right back. In fact, we tried to sign him as well, but we couldn't get him. So he left. He'd been on a free actually from Rurutu for ages. Like he'd just been hanging around, hadn't been picked up, but hadn't retired either. And then they've got Kylian Rousset, who's a good, pretty well established keeper. So he's got good competition wins with the Eels, even though we just recently beat the Eels. So there we go. Let's see how we do against them. Going back to the Eels Stadium, I got asked if I was bitter towards Rurutu since I'd left. Actually, no, I said, good feeling. It's definitely a good feeling. They're naming a stadium after me. 6,000 seater. See if we can knock it around. Pressing as hard from the off. Go on, Lamb. Talangara. So Talangara almost. So Lamb used to play for the Humpbacks. Talangara used to play for the Humpbacks. Spearling used to play for them. Manuel used to play for them. I've got anyone else on the bench who used to play for them? Probably, I think I do. I've got Kerr, I think. Go on. Go long. Chitty. Gotta be on those. Go on, knock it forwards. We're pushing, but I also feel like they're just soaking up the pressure, handling it pretty well. Plus, so it's a good pass by them, it's just slightly off. Yeah, I think they're just soaking up the pressure so they can hit us like that. I think they are just counter-attacking. Stroud, Wallace. He used to play for Humpbacks as well. See how this goes. Their corner. Dallowin. Saved and cleared. I think this is the real test. Porter in, Bar, because they're a team that have had the benefit of us, like a human manager controlling them, so they've got a better infrastructure. They've had more sustained success as well, so they're the only team to have won it, the title in a row, for example. So they're starting to edge ahead in the match stats. Oh, Jean-Baptiste, the yellow card. I have to bring him off because he nips at the heels of players. Oh, half time. Yeah, they're edging it, but that's just the way it has to be, I think. Try and hit. Pleased with how things are going. That's not bad. I don't want them to be, too complacent, but I can't say that's bad. They're reigning champions, most successful team in French Polynesia. Yeah. Ooh. Also, I mentioned during the first half of this video about the Dictate the Game article. There's a Dictate the Game podcast as well, and I'm on a couple of those. So I was on last week's, as you're watching this, the week before that as well. I don't know if I'll be on the one that'll go live on Sunday, because I've not checked what's going on yet. If you want to hear me talk nonsense there as well. I think they're not far away from a goal, are they? Who can I bring on? Should I bring on Wallace to see if he'll score against the former team? That's the Football Manager way, isn't it? They always score against the former team. Bring on for Tamangara. I would obviously, at this point, take a draw. Scoring league table, it's too early for it to really matter, but we're keeping pace. Takaro Terrors are going top as it stands, which is bizarre. It'd be great if they managed to win the title. Let's bring on fresh legs for Manuel. Yeah, it would be great for the Terrors. One more team outside of Tahiti, other than Rurutu, to win. Good. Very early. I don't think they'll sustain that. It's bizarre being happy with... Oh, I was going to say... Beauvalet saved. I was just about to say it's going to be bizarre being really happy with a 0-0 draw, but... They are strong. There we go. So I think we were ever so slightly fortunate. When you look at the match stats, we were a little lucky to survive that. But also it shows us the gap is starting to close between us and some of the bigger teams. We've already shown that with some of the other ones in the league that we've beaten, surprisingly. Like the Eels, like Taha, the ones we've managed to survive against, like Moria. So it's a good sign for us. Don't know if there are any... Don't play promises. I don't care what I promise to them. What jobs are going? Just for Hanger Vines without a manager. So the Rurutu manager's got a bit of grace, I think. He's up there. He's stable still. But he's... Because this is ranked by order of stability. So even though it says that the Vai Takataha is stable, they're the most, or the least stable of all the stable ones, and it goes down. So Jonathan Wamitan, what a name, is up there. He's used to manage the Wings, Feral Cats, Tetaroa, Chance, well-experienced manager, but he's the one who's going to be struggling currently. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to show you before I go. So this video's gone on for a while now. Andre, and not Andrea. Johan, wrong way around, isn't it? So he's at Al Fateh, I think. Is it Saudi Arabia? So I think that is. A better way to see that there is, isn't it? Yeah, Saudi Arabia. And he is now worth 1.4 million. He looks kind of like a 1.4 million player. I reckon he could end up going to a much bigger league as well. He's already starting to perform for them. So he's another one of our former players, along with Paul Pons, who's gone on to actually be worth quite a bit of money. To make it to a much bigger kind of platform as well. So we'll end there. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about Dictate the Game and stuff like that. If you've been enjoying stuff like this, please leave a comment. We can have a chat, or come follow me on Twitter. We can have a chat on there if you want to. Or like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It's just nice to know that people are enjoying things. Thanks very much.